Sir, next. Are you on the list?
I hope so.
Name?
Ian Beckles.
Ian Beckles. I got Tom Brady. I got Reggie White. I got Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Okay, Ian Beckles.
Yeah.
You're on the list, brother. Come sit.
I'm next to Taylor Swift.
Next to Taylor Swift. Sit back, relax, enjoy the episode.
All right.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming here today.
All right.
We've already been talking. We've already been vibing.
Yeah.
But tell us something because I want to know more about you. I really know a little bit. I've done the research. The first thing that he said on the list was that you're from Canada.
I am from Montreal, Canada. Yeah.
From Montreal, Canada. And how long did you live there before you came to the U.S.? What was your childhood like in Canada?
Well, my parents were from the West Indies. My mother's from Guyana, and my father was from Trinidad. They moved to Montreal, Canada. They had me. I pretty much grew up an only child. And I lived in Montreal until 18 years old. And then I went to junior college in Iowa.
Got you. So high school,
all the way through high school, which is 11th grade, and actually 1 year of college as well.
Nice.
In Montreal. So I was there till I was about 18 years old.
Okay. And football since
7 years old.
7 years old.
Yeah.
Were you big already?
I was big out of the womb.
You was big out of the womb.
Yeah.
So they knew.
Yeah. Well,
was your dad big?
Well, my dad was 5'11".
So not really.
90.
So
he was built sturdy,
stocky,
muscular. He got veins as an old man. My mother was kind of short and squatty.
Okay.
So I got a little of both, and they're both strong. They both were strong people.
Okay.
So they made a strong person in me.
So how big are you? You're 6. What? How much? What was your like when you were playing? What was your stats?
I'm 6'1". My rookie year I was 295, and my last year I was 320. So I've been 300 since I was, I think, 17 years old, something like that. So
that's what you are around now.
I haven't weighed myself in a long time. I've lost a little bit of weight here as of late.
Yeah.
Changed my diet up a little bit, started walking a little bit. I
was going to say, are you still working out? Did you used to work out every day? Was that like something that was...
I don't know if there's many people in the Tampa area that has worked out more than me.
Okay.
Like I started working out when I was 12.
Okay.
Like me and my boy worked out in his garage at 12 and going at it hard, bench pressing. We used to bench press 4 or 5 times a week sometimes, which was crazy, but as young kids, we just were obsessed with it.
Really? I
mean, I was obsessed with bench press from Jump Street because, when you're always drawn to whatever you're good at, I could, with a straight face, think in my head, and nobody was ever better than me at bench pressing. Nobody.
What was your max?
I did 500 when I was in the league. I still have the Indiana record at 475.
Got you.
I mean, that was my strength. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we know. So what was your position?
Offensive guard when I was in the league.
Yeah.
When I was in junior college, I was a nose guard. All the way back to high school, I played running back. I played defensive line.
I can't imagine him as a running back.
Well, I played rugby as well.
A run over.
Yeah. I played rugby in high school. And,
rugby.
I led the league in tries, which is the equivalent of touchdowns. So at 295 in high school, I wasn't the easiest person to bring down.
So rugby, is that big in Canada?
Yeah, bigger than it is here.
Bigger than football?
Yeah. No, it's not bigger than football.
Okay.
Football's still not as big as hockey there. Hockey's king.
I was going to say, what other sports? So rugby, football. I know like people like LeBron and that are multiple, kind of even Jordan, stuff like that. He played baseball, he played basketball. Yeah. So you were rugby, football, anything else?
I played every single sport except for soccer. I played rugby, baseball, basketball, football, track. I played water polo. I golfed.
You're learning new things here today.
I was a goalie on the water polo team. I was on the swim team. I was in track. I did shot put. I did discus. I ran.
Wow.
I just I listen. If we have a test in school, don't cheat off of me. If we have a sport, pick me.
Right.
That was it. I mean, that was me. That was my strength, sports.
So the grades were not your focus.
Nah.
Not at all. But you got through, because I know that if you don't get the grades, you're not going to be able to play.
Well, that's not completely true.
No.
If you're good enough,
they'll do what they can.
Listen, there's a lot of guys that I played with that were dumb as a stump. Okay, and they figured out ways to get them through because they were so damn talented. I'm not going to say I'm not intelligent, but nobody ever really sat me down and explained studying to me. I swear to you, like I said, my parents weren't from here. They didn't have much education.
Mm-hmm.
I see other parents, like my wife, my ex-wife was on top of my kids.
Right.
Like nobody, I didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just BSing my mother the whole time. Oh no, I only have 30 absences there because it was a mistake. And like, I was so full of crap.
Right.
But she didn't know the difference. And through the years of figuring out ways to not study for a test, I developed hustle skills. So I have, I'm a hustler, we'll say.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? But don't cheat off me in the test, because that's not going to work.
Right. In Canada, what you were from Ontario? Montreal,
Quebec.
Okay. Freezing there? I'm assuming it's like 2 degrees all year.
2.
Is that high?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about minus 40.
Okay.
I'm talking about crazy, like don't go outside. It's dangerous outside.
So you're in the exact opposite
correct.
Climate right now.
Yep.
Which one do you like better?
I'll never go back. Okay. I grew up skiing.
I was going to say, do you ski, snowboard?
Yeah. Like when I skied for a couple of years and I wasn't great, all my buddies, like I had a bunch of different buddies, like factions of buddies. I have like my black friends, and we listen to hip hop music and playing sports. And I had some of my other white friends that were like skateboarders and skiers and almost like jackass X Games kind of dudes, So I grew up skiing on some of the best ski hills in the country. And I used to get my ass whooped on those skiing. Have you ever skied before?
Yeah, I love skiing. I just went skiing.
The toughest hills, they used to take me on the toughest hills in Vermont.
The Black Diamond.
And the black, hey, I didn't belong up there, dog. Because it took me a long time to get down that bitch. I mean, a long, long time.
That's hilarious. Turn that off.
There you go.
You turn the ring off. Can you get me a water too, Mark? Appreciate that. Man, so you, after when you graduated high school, you went to college.
Yeah, I had a little, I didn't get accepted to any big colleges in Canada. And I was trying to go there to play football and maybe play in the CFL at the time. I did some college, like it's called CEGEP, which is kind of like a junior college in Montreal. And I always played football for the City League. So when I was 18, I was playing football in the City League. Then a friend of mine said, hey, we got some scholarships here in Iowa and a junior college, and I took it. And then I went there, and then it all worked out.
That's dope. And you, how long were you there?
I was in junior college in Iowa, and I mean, Forest City, Iowa. The town has, I think, 7,000 people. The school had 400 students.
Okay, small.
2 black women in the school.
Okay.
It was a culture shock.
Okay.
I mean, Montreal has 4 million people.
Okay.
And you go to 4 million and 7,000 people. That was a culture shock.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Football was the reason I was there. I wasn't there to party, clearly. It was a dry campus, and me and my boys were like the only ones on campus that were of age to drink. So we knew we were there for business.
Right.
And as much as my buddy wanted to go home, my buddy Sean, who was my roommate.
So you had somebody come with you?
My buddy Sean, who was my best friend, he was my roommate. And man, he was ready to go home. And I was like, I just can't, I'm not going home with my mother. Like, I can't imagine going home with my mother and just tell her I'm quitting.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
So you can go. So I think it all worked out for
Did he go?
all of us. No, he stayed. He stuck around, and he ended up playing a little bit in the CFL. But he's a stuntman now. He still makes good money.
Nice.
Being a stuntman.
So who was that?
30 years old. Sean Stewart.
Sean Stewart.
Yeah.
Stuntman in LA or Cali?
Vancouver. Vancouver. They have a lot of actors get a lot of work in Vancouver.
Interesting.
The money goes a long way over there.
Yeah, so the money is worth more here.
Money is worth more
significantly,
here.
Or what?
I think it's quite a difference now with all this tariff thing. I don't know what's going on in this world, but
right.
there was a time where Canadian dollar was actually stronger than the American dollar. There was a time, but it's not today.
Right.
I remember back in the day, I used to give my mother American money, and you give her $100 American, it came out to about $135 Canadian. So American money was, law, and anytime you got a dollar was a big deal. And there was another time when they wouldn't even take the dollar.
Right.
So it's cyclical, it goes up and down.
Yeah, no, I just went to London. The pound is like a lot more than the dollar. I think that might be worth the most. I don't know. When Mark comes back, we'll ask him what currency is worth the most. And then I went to Paris, which is the euro, which is close.
Okay.
It was like probably I gave them 100. They might have gave me like 80.
Sure.
80, 85, something like that. So it was close. But in the pound, I gave them 500. They gave me like 300.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So it was pretty significant there.
No doubt about that.
Have you ever been out the country?
Yeah.
You played out the country or just traveled out?
Played out the country. I mean, other than growing up playing in Canada, no, I don't think I ever played outside the country. I've got a chance to travel to like Costa Rica, Dominican Republic.
I've heard Costa Rica was really nice.
Costa Rica is a cool spot. I thought real cool until I went to Colombia, and Colombia was substantially better.
Okay.
Colombia,
you speak Spanish? No.
No, I speak French.
You speak French?
I speak French, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
So fluid.
Well, I was. I was fluent in French in 1986 when I came to the United States of America, but in Iowa, Indiana, and Tampa, nobody speaks French.
There's no French.
So there's no reason for me to speak French. I think if I went back to Montreal, in 2 weeks I would have it back.
Right.
But right now, if I just start spitting French, it ain't gonna sound great. Right. Because I just haven't used it in so long. But it does. I understand every word. I can pronounce every word. But to put them together might be tough right now.
That I'm currently, and you might make fun of me, but I'm doing Babbel.
What is that?
Babbel is an app. Okay. Trying to learn Spanish.
I have heard Babbel.
At least.
Yes, yeah, good. It's smart in Florida.
Having another language, even having one other language, I think gives you a big leg up.
I think it gives you a big leg up in the world because I think you can just figure things out better. You know what I mean? Like once you know Spanish, you'll know the root of a lot of words. You see what I'm saying? And since I know French, I look at Spanish and I can figure out some stuff. So once you learn another language, I think it rounds you. We're very narrow-minded here in the United States of America. Good for you.
We think English is. I'm trying. I've got my fam. It was $100 for a year. We're doing the app. We're on like lesson 10. Me, my daughter, and my wife are doing it almost every night. We don't. That's
what you should do.
Right. My wife is Puerto Rican, but her parents didn't. They speak Spanish. Yeah. But they didn't. I think that her parents went through a lot in their life where they wanted their kids to not be labeled as Spanish. Of course, and I get that. Yeah. It just sucks that we want to go to South America and we want to go to Spain, and so I probably speak more Spanish than she does because I'm from New York. So there was a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Mexicans. Yeah. So, to holler at girls, you had to know a little bit, right?
Well, the thing is, and I think there's a lot of sad things happening in our country. A lot of times I think people have to hide their ethnicity because of, unfortunately, the perception,
religion, ethnicity.
Yeah. Like my thing is, I'm a 300-pound black man. I can't hide it. Okay, right. A lot of other people, the second they open their mouth and they have an accent, a lot of America judges them immediately. Right. And I just think it's 2025, and the fact that people are still thinking that Hispanic or black people are lesser. You're not watching. Right. You're not watching. It's it's about where you were brought up and the evolution of your family. And
you're taught it. You're taught it. You see that.
Listen, I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic. You grow up and don't have anything, and your parents are not speaking the Lord's English. I mean, the Queen's English the right way. You're not going to grow up the right way. That's the way it is. If you grow up with money and you're in country clubs and stuff like that, you have a better chance. That's life. So I don't know why people are still seeing color. I think it's a ridiculous thing.
No, I 100% agree with you. But it takes the right people to, to be in power, unfortunately, to make it,
Well, I don't want to.
I don't want to get into it. This is not a political show.
Thank God.
Yeah,
because that one. Yeah,
we keep it moving. So you did you graduate college?
I did. I actually.
What was your major?
Business.
Okay.
When I got drafted to the Buccaneers in 1990. I got drafted in the 5th round, and my first year I started 16 games, and I had a successful rookie year. And then at the end of the season, like I promised my mother that I was going to graduate. So I went back to Indiana in the off season, and I continued to work out. But I went back and I went back to school, and I think I did 14 credits. And that's when I realized that I could have got good grades. Because
smarter than you.
Well, I knew I was smarter than I tried.
Right.
Okay? So, but when I went back to Indiana and I was paying for school now, now I'm paying for school. Now I'm going to class and I'm listening. I'm taking notes. So when you pay for something, it's different now.
Right.
And somebody gives you a gift, it's way different. You go spend your money for something, right? So now I spent my money and I was going to class and listening and taking notes and going to study halls and blah, 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 and studying with lawyers and stuff. And all of a sudden I'm getting straight A's. And I was like, could have done this.
Yeah, and then you would have been maybe at a different college, you know.
But here's a factor that maybe people aren't thinking of right now. When I go back to graduate, I don't have to get up early for dawn patrol.
That's true.
I don't have to lift weights every day. I don't have to go to football practice every day. I don't have to leave town every Friday and Saturday. So
off season, that's where you were at.
I mean, when you're playing football, schooling is secondary.
Right.
It has to be because you spend so much time on football. So much, and even when you're studying, it's football studying. I mean studying the sport, but your team makes you do study table and stuff like that. So everything is around football. I mean, you're a student athlete, but you're really, I don't know.
Is that how it is now today? Like when you, because I know that I believe you work with kids, the youth. With Chamberlin or something. You worked at some schools. Are you telling them that, like, school first? Or are you saying football's your life and, fall back on school?
Sticky, I'll be honest with you.
What's your advice now to a young kid?
Well,
a big kid, someone who you think has it.
Plant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My kids went to plant. It ain't Chamberlin. You heard me? It's not. Chamberlin is a different animal.
Okay.
And I got there to coach last year, and I started off not really understanding what I was getting into. And it was months later before it finally this came to me. I was like, I'm teaching a different kid here.
So were you the coach or were you?
I was the offensive line coach.
You were offensive line coach. Okay, so, that makes sense.
10th practice, I'm talking to this kid. And he's looking at me, and I say something, and he's not reacting. And I go, "Can he speak English?" Somebody goes, "Not really." And I goes, "Nobody's going to tell me that."
Right.
Like this is the 10th day. So I'm an offensive line coach, okay? And I didn't realize this till I really got into coaching last year. Offensive line play is one of the more specific things in all of sports. Nobody is born an offensive lineman. Everything is foreign. Nobody walks around with their legs apart and moves backwards. It's just not a natural thing. And this is another thing people probably don't think about. You could be dumb as a stump and have long arms and be mean and be a great defensive end. Can't play offense. You won't get the playbook. You won't know which foot to step with. You won't know the angles. You have to be intelligent to be an offensive lineman. So now I got some kids that have 1-2s and 1-3s and that skip school all the time. I'm trying to turn them into offensive linemen. Right. So it was tough. It wasn't easy.
You still doing it?
Yeah, I'm still there. Okay. I mean, I'm not there much in the off season. There's like 2 linemen or something like that. So I'm still there.
Don't you need a whole?
Yeah, you need 5 to play. But right now, we just don't have a lot of kids out there. So if you're in the Chamberlin area and you want to play some football, come and holler at my boy Chad. And we need some bodies.
Right. All right. So are you enjoying that or not really?
It's very fulfilling in some ways. It's very challenging in other ways because I think I'm a naturally passionate person. And I don't think you can fake what I done. I don't think. You can't fake what I did. You can't. You can fake singing. You could fake almost everything. not that. You can't fake football. You can't fake it. Eventually, you're going to put you in front of greatness, and you're going to have to conquer greatness in one way or another. So my passion level is definitely not one of these kids.
Right.
And I find myself getting disappointed because when I got there last year in January, Chamberlin football hadn't won a game in 2.5 years, right? So we were taking over a big pile of crap. So by the end of the season, Chamberlin went 8-3. Okay, they hadn't won in 2.5 years.
Wow.
Chamberlin went 8-3. So Chad Wood, the head coach, and myself.
Was he a new head coach too that year?
Coach that I brought aboard. So Chad Wood and myself did a wonderful job. We make it to the playoffs for the first time in like a while. And on that Monday, we had 10 kids at practice on a playoff week.
Right.
All my seniors missed Monday of a playoff week. Like
senior skip day?
I mean, when you do this, look, that's what I was doing.
Where's everybody?
What else you got?
Right.
What else in your life is so important that you're not at your football practice on playoff week? I don't understand that. Like, there's nothing in my life was more important than me going to that practice and getting ready for a playoff game. These kids didn't show up, my seniors. So by the time we got to the game, I just felt like telling you guys don't deserve it, man. And they got whooped. That's life. That's life.
So you got one playoff game.
We got one playoff game in and got whooped. And we deserved to get there. We definitely overachieved. But we still played some stupid football. We got some
and
kids.
Did you say that to the kids?
Just like that.
Just like that.
You Sticky.
You got to be honest with them.
Sticky. Let me tell you something.
You got to be honest with them.
There's times where I have to check myself, dog.
Right.
Like, because I coached my son's team when they were little, and I wouldn't even curse. I didn't curse in front of those kids, never.
Right.
Some of the other coaches cursed, I never cursed. Now I have 17 and 18-year-old kids. I say some crazy stuff. Like, sometimes things come out of my mouth, and I'm like, I don't know if I should have said.
Right.
Like, I say some sexual stuff sometimes, and like, I'll say something like, ooh, that got my dick hard. I hear, what? Ugh. And so then you got to come back to earth a little bit.
Right.
But I enjoy it. But those kids are a challenge for sure.
Yeah, I mean, any kids are a challenge.
These days.
How many kids do you have?
I got 3 kids.
3 kids. Older? Yeah. What's your youngest?
I think my youngest is 27. My oldest is 30.
No football players?
My son played football up to, I think, his sophomore year, and he sprouted after he stopped playing football. He stopped playing football, and I think the day he stopped playing football, he shot straight up. Because he was kind of small, and now he's probably 6'1", 260.
Right.
So he's not a bad-looking athlete. So
right.
He was a late bloomer. I was kind of a late bloomer, too. Like, I was 5'7" until one summer I just went up to 6 feet, and thank God I made it.
Right, nice.
Yeah.
That was probably a good year the next year. You came back to school, everybody was like, hello.
Yeah, well, one day, I swear to God, everybody's like, man, you getting tall. Like, this all of a sudden, and I was like, really? And I went and measured myself, and I was like, the last time, I swear, it seemed like I went from 5'7" to 6 foot in a summer.
Really? Like,
I didn't have time to think about it, but thank God, because I wouldn't want to see me at 5'7".
Yeah, that's pretty sure. You don't want to be stuck at 5'7".
No, I'm with my build, no.
Right. No, I don't think that would have. I don't think that would have worked out.
No, sir. I would have been.
You would have had that low center of gravity, though.
No, yeah.
Knocked everybody out from the Yeah. So when did you? So you graduated, but you graduated while you were like kind of at the end of college. Or at the end, you graduated college when you had just started in the league. So you were kind of like doing both.
Well, only for one semester to graduate. Okay. Then I got back to the NFL, and then I played 8 more years.
That's great that you graduated, though.
Well, yeah, it is. It is. Out the way. But now that I'm old, I look back at it. I mean, I would tell people going to school is cool. I don't know if it's necessary.
Right. Depends on what you're going to do.
Yeah. I went back to get my degree, and it's probably in a drawer somewhere. I don't even know where it is. I haven't ever taken it out. Nobody's ever asked me for it. But I can say I was a graduate. So, I mean, literally, it was just bragging rights. And
I think that's all it is at this point. Yeah. You know, it was, for me, it was just fun, honestly. Like, college, those 4 years were probably a fantastic year. Did I have to bust my ass a little bit on school? Yes.
Sure.
But it's a party. Unless you're going to, like, actually, you want to be a nurse. You want to be. And then I tell kids, you don't need to go to college necessarily. Go Go specific if you know what you're doing. My son is at Embry-Riddle. Have you heard of Embry-Riddle?
I'm not.
Embry-Riddle is other than they're in Daytona Beach, and other than the Air Force Academy, they're the number 2 academy for you to get your pilot license and to get into the Air Force.
Okay.
So that's really exciting seeing him learning how to fly a plane and things like that. But Embry-Riddle's a great school.
I've not heard of it, but I like to me, my advice to young people is, I said, what are you passionate about?
Right.
And whatever that answer is, I said, go into something that doesn't feel like work. Like to me,
they don't know what they're passionate about.
Well, we have to be passionate about something.
Yeah, you do.
Some people aren't passionate. Well, you better find it. To be great, you got to be passionate. Okay. Right. This stuff, all the stuff around us right here, didn't just get created overnight. Okay. There's got to be some passion behind it. Like, look at all this passionate. Look at all this crap right here.
We haven't even played with any of it. We haven't even talked about
what I'm saying. Public.
So, are you into fashion at all? Is that something that you like? Wake up in the morning, you're like, I got to match this to match this. It seems like you like matching.
Well,
somehow, some way.
There's a matching concept to what I do. I'm going to say this. I walk around with me all day. I've been around me all day forever. I get a lot of compliments on my clothing.
Okay.
And people, like a lot of women will say, well, you're put together or you're fashionable. But when I think about it, I only just wear, like today I'm wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. Okay. It's either sweatpants, hoodie, or shorts, t-shirt. That's it.
Those are all
now, my thing is, that's why I got love for Sticky and all stuff like that. I'm a hat guy. I'm a bandana guy. I'm a jewelry guy. I'm an accessory guy.
Right.
So a woman just wants to look at a dude. Guys, listen. A woman just wants to look at a dude in any fashion.
Game right here.
And have him look like he cares. That's it. Don't have no dirty ass shoes.
Okay, shoes are important.
Don't have no socks with holes in them. Don't have shirts with holes in them unless you're really, really cool and you can get away with that.
Right.
So, like, as long as you look, and I've had shirts with holes in them, and I just let them rock, and they're like, oh, that's fashionable. You got to be a certain level to get away. I've heard this my whole life. Watch me. Listen to this. Guys always say this to me. I couldn't get away with wearing that. Right. And I go, why not? Like, I would wear this pink hat in a second. Yeah. I was wearing some bright yellow shoes one day, and my boy walks by and he goes, I don't get the shoes. And right on cue, a lovely young lady walks by. She goes, I love your shoes. I look at my boy, I go, it ain't about you. Right. It's about the I'm not trying to attract you, That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. I mean, I like to, what I say, one of my slogans is a lot of people wear many hats. Yeah. Right. If you have multiple businesses, you might wear many hats. I wear many patches.
I love that.
Right. I might wear the same hat. Yeah. Right. You might. So maybe you have one of these too, but I've always, since I was probably 10 years old, I've had a wall. Okay. That had 50 hats. With a nail, had a 50 hat wall. Okay. Do you have a wall that you just hammered in?
It's funny. I lived in a trailer for a couple of years, and on the wall, the decoration was my hats. Right. Okay? So all over the trailer. Now I live right behind Dignitary Cafe in like a mobile.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
Yeah. Regency Cove, and
no, I've heard of the Dignitary Cafe.
Yeah, Dignitary Cafe is a nice little spot. We still have a little sticky joints over there. But now my hats, and I don't know if I realize how many new era hats and sticky hats that I have, but I put them all together, and it's to a point where I can't manage it.
Too many.
Way too many.
That's the, Marcus, we need to take note of this. That's the problem that can use solving when it comes to sticky. That's true. Is I've got 50 hats and now they're all, who knows where, they're in a box. Yeah. Right? And I'll pick them out when I'm ready. That's a problem, right? So, but if you have one nice hat that fits you right, it's comfortable, whether it's a dad hat, or we haven't even dropped these yet, the trucker, the bucket, which, yours fits you.
Mm-hmm.
We got you
Absolutely.
We have the big man's buckets.
I wore it the other day at Kerry King concert.
Who's that?
That's
Kerry King,
the guitarist from Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to my boy. Took me
Is that what kind of music do you like? That leads me right
once
to
again,
that.
Slayer. I've seen Slayer 5 times. Okay. I love Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working out, Slayer is a beautiful thing. I grew up. I've loved every bit of hip hop my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hip hop I don't like. The new stuff, I don't want to be an old fuddy duddy and say it's not good. I'm not exposed to it.
Right.
I think it's funny that people think Kendrick Lamar is the best ever. He's not better than Rakim. He's not better than...
Who's your favorite? Who do you think's the best ever? Put a number one. And for somebody who likes all genres, obviously.
But the best hip hop artist?
You could give a top 3, top 5, or top 1, whatever.
Hip hop artist, I go KRS-One.
Is number 1.
He might be.
Okay.
Because he was my number 1 at the beginning.
Okay.
So I'm the kind of dude like...
Before Big and
Pop. That's what I'm saying. Like, my thing is, how can Kendrick Lamar say he's better than Rakim? Because he studied him.
But I don't think Kendrick's saying it.
I know, I agree. Right? Other people say
the young kids, they're 20. That's all they know.
But it's like saying I'm a better guitarist than Jimi Hendrix. No, you're not, because you're doing some Jimi Hendrix in your whatever it is. You can't not do it. So, KRS-One, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. You have to give him his flowers. Trying to give Rakim.
There's your top 5.
Yeah, I'm okay with
KRS-One, Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas.
And there's a few people,
but you're not from New York, so I think was everyone that he just said from New York. KRS-One, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z.
Yep.
Who was the 5th? Rakim. So as everybody is, so you're at East Coast.
Well, I'm Montreal. That's what I was exposed to.
Montreal East?
Right there.
Montreal's right there.
It's stuck to New York.
Okay.
So that's what I was exposed to.
All right.
Now, Pac. NWA,
Snoop, Q,
all of it, dog. I had all of it. I had all of Wu-Tang Clan. I had all of NWA, every offshoot. I had every X Clan. It doesn't matter. Hip hop, it came out. If it was on Yo MTV Raps, I got it.
Right.
Back in the day, no doubt. Let me say something about your product, Sticky here. Once again, I love wearing your product. I wish you guys came in fitted. That would be the most beautiful thing ever, okay?
Yes, and we are talking about fitteds.
Okay.
Now, you're wearing a new era fitted.
Yes.
Right? That's the pinnacle.
It is.
Right?
It is.
People that make my products is not the person that makes New Era.
Okay.
So I could make that. But is it a new era? Does it have that feel, that fit, that size?
I know what you mean.
That's a tall mountain to climb.
Because I love this concept. My issue,
you wear fitteds.
I got a big ass head.
Right.
And this
so you wear the buckets.
Doesn't look right. The buckets look good on me.
Yes.
These don't look good. But that being said, okay, I'm exposed to almost all the entrepreneurs in the Bay Area, okay? Very few concepts stop me. This is one of the few that stopped me. Like, we had a meeting, I was trying to figure out ways to get involved with this, because very few things that I see that go, damn, I get that.
You got it real quick. Like you saw it and you were like, what can we do?
That makes a lot of sense.
And we can revisit. We can revisit. We can continue, this relationship and try to, find that common ground on how we can both benefit from
Listen,
it.
I'm all about collaboration and synergy and figure out ways we can all help each other out. And to me, when you roll into something as a collaboration and a friendship where we're right here, right? If we're just trying to all come up together, you can't really lose. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's not like this is my spiel to everybody I sit down with, okay? And most of the people I do business with, I like to consider my friends, okay? So I like to say this. If you lose, I lose. If you gain, I gain. Let's go in this together. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm just paying you to do something and I'm not selling, then it doesn't really work out.
It's got to benefit,
It has to benefit everybody. You know
why would you want to do it where it only benefits one person?
Well, my thing is, I'm not the average Joe, okay? Because like my kids throughout their childhood used to always say, Dad, why does everybody give you stuff for free? And I said, that word doesn't exist.
Right.
And I go, I'm in this restaurant.
You got to do something.
You got to give back.
It might not be money.
I'm in this restaurant. Okay, I'm in this restaurant, and they just paid for my meal.
Right.
I thanked them. I ridiculously tipped the waiter. Okay. Then I came back on the air and talked about how good the meal was.
Right.
That's not a coincidence.
Right.
That's the hustle.
Right.
That's the hustle. So to me,
that's also respect. It's certain things. Yeah. I don't. It is a hustle.
It's a hustle,
but it's like something that a gentleman does.
Well, it's something that a hustler, an entrepreneur does. I want nothing more than to see young entrepreneurs succeed. I want to help. Anytime somebody's coming to sell me something, and you could ask anybody around me, the first question I ask is it local? If it's not local, doesn't mean I'm not going to buy it, but I'm not as interested.
Right.
If it's local, I'm listening because I just want to help local, man. This is my community, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm dying here. I'm just telling everybody I'm not going.
I was gonna ask, like, is how long have you been in Tampa? So is it 1990?
1990.
Okay, and you love Tampa. Your heart's in Tampa.
I'm gonna say one better. Tampa loves me.
Okay.
I'm being serious about that. Like when I walk around, sometimes I trip a little bit. Okay, like. I'm on the Bone now. I'm on the Mike Calta show every Monday. I do Johnny B's show on Thursday. I'm a weird radio guy because I don't really work in radio. I also do Pat and Aaron's show on the other station, the sports station, because I have a voice. I have a following. So if I'm on the show, people are going to be listening.
And an opinion.
Yeah. The other day, it was the Bucs game. I might have been the playoff game. I ended up going to Warren Sapp's tailgate. And afterwards, they had a Bone listener party, and I walked up in it, and there was a couple hundred people there. And in my lifetime, I've never had so many people show me love like that. Every person in that place, and all 200 people came and greeted me. It was the craziest thing in my life. Like there was times I played ball, I could walk anywhere and nobody would recognize me. And then people with me are like, damn, dude. I'm just like, I don't even know how to explain it. So why would I go anywhere else?
It's in you. It's not on you. It's in you.
Tampa Bay is me, dog. Look. I'm gonna tell you, my hat collection
is all Tampa.
It's Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay. Even my sticky hats, Buccaneers, Dignitary, Tampa Bay. Done. Done. Slayer.
Do you go to Lightning games?
I do, not as many as I used to. I grew up loving hockey. I remember sitting in the stands with my ex-wife and thinking that hockey was not going to work here. People wonder, the Montreal Canadiens in 1990, whenever the Lightning started, the Canadiens had 26 Stanley Cups at that point. They still have 26 Stanley Cups, and I flipped from the Canadiens to the Lightning, and the Lightning had 3 Stanley Cups since then. So I've had my team be very successful throughout my lifetime.
You go to Bucs games?
I don't go to any Bucs games.
Why?
I don't.
You tell me you don't have season tickets.
I've almost never. First of all, I call the Bucs for a ticket, and they give me the box office numbers. So don't think that they love me like that. Come on. No, I'm being serious about that. I can really get a ticket to anything in the Tampa area, maybe other than the Bucs.
Wow.
This is real. And going to a football game, to me, you have to think about it for a second.
It's like going to work.
It's foreign.
It's foreign. It's different than it was.
I've never done it.
Right.
I've never done it.
That's true.
I don't like it. I watch football in my house, in front of the television.
Right.
When I mean love, I don't like watching football. I don't.
Right.
That's what I do.
Right.
Like when football's on, that's what I do. We have a wedding Sunday. Huh?
You sound like
crazy.
Hell no.
Hell no. No. It's un-American.
Yeah.
To make a freaking
It's
wedding.
Un-American.
It's un-American during football season. Get out of here.
Wow. That's great. I'm not like as big of a fan. And I'm like, Mark, let's do this on Sunday. Let's schedule this interview on Sunday. He's like, I can't.
Nope.
From 4 to
4.
Well, whatever his game is.
Yeah,
he'll want it all day.
You can't stop at 1 because you can't mess that game. 12 o'clock, don't bother me no more. I gotta watch pregame stuff.
I gotta at least watch the thing.
Oh, there you go.
So do you watch it at the Dignitary, or are you watching it at the Guard? Where do you usually watch the game?
It's funny. You
have a big screen at the Dignitary now, right?
I've always had that big screen.
Okay.
Back in the day, I didn't know you back in the day, but I used to live in Culberth Isles. I used to have a 6,500 square foot house, big old house. Mm-hmm. And we had a room above the garage we used to call Skanctuary. And the Skanctuary is the boat in the Ladies' Man. And that's my favorite. My favorite comedy of all time. Mm-hmm. So for many, many, many years, I would say for 20 years, the Skanctuary was a place to go watch football.
Gotcha. And
there was one rule: you can't invite yourself. That was the only rule. So I'll invite a lot of people. But there's times where the Bella twins were there. We had 2 midgets there at one time before, which is amazing. Angelo Dundee, you know the name Angelo Dundee? The old boxing trainer. Dundee. Yeah, old boxing trainer. He used to train Ali and all those guys back in the day. He's like the top trainer ever. He used to hang out and tell stories about being in the back alleys with Frank Sinatra and all that. But it was a place to be. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of liquor, a lot of food. Mm-hmm. I enjoy cooking for people. Mm-hmm.
You cook for yourself now or no?
I cook every day.
Every day?
Every single day.
Okay.
Every single day I cook, yeah.
All right. And you like watch your diet then, obviously.
Very much so. No, I flipped a year ago. I turned into carnivore. That's my diet.
Okay, so you went the opposite. A lot of people are going like vegan.
But I've done vegan though.
Okay.
I went vegan for a year, and it didn't work for me because I just started eating shit. Okay. Mac and cheese and cookies, and that's vegan. Like for me, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I lost a lot of weight since last year because of the diet, but my joints were starting to bother me, and I watched a lot of videos, and cutting sugar out of my diet has done a lot for my body. Because I cut, the only sugar I have all day long is maybe a little bit of creamer in my coffee. Mm-hmm. That's it. Other than that, I don't even put ketchup on my meat. And I eat meat, eggs, cheese.
Gotcha.
That's it.
You drink coffee every day?
Yeah, I'm up and down with the coffee, but lately I've been a coffee fiend. And I drink kratom, and I drink kava, and I drink a lot of water.
Is kratom and kava good for you? Do they know the effects of?
Oh yeah, everybody knows the effects.
Not like the immediate effects.
Well, I would say this: it's almost the exact same. If I asked you, "Is marijuana good for you?" What's the answer? See, I have to take.
That's a good question.
Okay, so it's the same with kratom.
Okay.
So this is what I would say: is marijuana good for you? I would say, as opposed to what?
Right.
Is kratom good for you as opposed to what? Opioids? Because a lot of people have opioid addictions turn to kratom. I don't know if I was an alcoholic, but I used to drink a lot. Mm-hmm. I drank too much. Mm-hmm. And I stopped drinking, and I went to kratom and kava. So is kratom better than alcohol? Yep. It just is.
Does it give you a buzz?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I haven't drank it like that.
It's different, though. I mean, it's not like
it's a different buzz.
When you talk about buzz, like, to me, a marijuana buzz and an alcohol buzz are completely different.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. A kratom buzz or a kava buzz are also different to where you'll feel somewhat inebriated, but you're able to speak, you're able to drive, you just feel very calm and soothed.
I felt like numb. Like this was when I first did it.
Yeah.
And I took a shot.
It could give you
and it kind of like numbed my mouth. I was
well, kava numbs your mouth.
Yes.
Immediately.
Okay.
But kava it has a reverse tolerance. Mm-hmm. And me and you would drink the same amount of kava, and I'll be more effed up than you because I've been drinking it.
Okay.
To me, I drink one shell of kava and I can feel it right away. Mm-hmm. It would take you 8 shells probably for you to start to feel it because it has a reverse tolerance.
Okay.
It's different stuff, man.
All right. And how long have you opened a Dignitary?
I've been in that building for almost 9 years.
Okay.
But Dignitary Cafe has been open about 3.5 years. And I had a different partner back in the day. I have a new partner now, Tom.
Was it a different business?
Well, it used to be a print shop.
I saw that.
And people used to walk in and ask what it is. And it really was just my office for a long time. And then I stopped drinking alcohol, and then I turned the kava and kratom. And then I asked around, and I said, why is there no kava bars in South Tampa? Nobody could explain why.
Right.
And then I said, I have a building. Let's get it done.
I haven't seen many.